So today's project is cutting out the 2x6 handrails for the Playhouse. So I've got my measurements, got my miter saw out, marked everything out. So this is what I'm working on now. This is the first video of this. I've not shared this on YouTube before. So here's the Playhouse. So it's a 10x10 platform, 10 feet off the ground. I'm calling it the Tin House, T-E-N. And right now it's just a ladder getting up there so the kids can go ahead and start playing and sitting and hanging out. The wife likes hanging out, so I've got 4x6 posts that are in the ground here, concreted. Those are 3 feet in the ground. And then I've just got some cross bracing here to take a little bit of the wobble out on the 4-inch side. So this is the 4-inch side of the board post, and this is the 6-inch side of the post. So I've got yeah, you can see that's a deer stand in the background there, a little fire pit, trampoline for the kids. Anyhow, I got a adult swing set that I'm working on building back here. I've got the post started. I think those are 4 feet in the ground. And so I've got my 2x10, that's what these cross braces are. I've got them fastened into the front face of the 4-inch. The 4-inch this direction is going to have the wobble in it because it's thinner. It's thinner this way, so the trusses take all that wobble out. I just got done putting the pickets up. I made a little cheater block that separates all the pickets by 3 and 3 3/4, 3 7/8, and those are all double screwed in the top, screwed in the bottom with those are 2.5-inch grip right deck screws. They have the T25 Torx bit, I believe. I've got some pictures. I don't have any video, but I do have some pictures of putting the pickets up. Right now I've just got a little bench up here, got some cushions, side table, and some chairs. I might eventually build a bench into the corner here, maybe like a little L couch, build a bench in. But here's the view, nice big redbud right over here. But now we can see across the yard, and it's cool. We're 10 feet up. All kinds of animals and stuff come around and hang out, and we've got deer that come in the backyard. This is a the section behind our house. There's a creek down there, so it's not ever going to be built as far as I could tell. Got a little squirrel visitor on the post there. So the next step is taking those boards that I'm marking right now, and those are going to go across all the way around. And then once I actually build out the stairs, I'm doing 4x4 posts in the ground with 2x12. They're not going to be stringers. I'm not cutting out the stair treads to sit on top of the stringers. I'm actually going to screw the stair treads inside the 2x12s. I've never built stairs before, so I've got to figure out how to determine the rise and run. And yeah, I'm just trying to get going with the YouTube channel here. I've got all kinds of little projects that I work on, and I'll probably do some product review. If you've seen my posts, do a lot of comments on music. So if you go over to Knox Hill and look at his YouTube channel, look up some of the videos for NF, and I've got some comments that I've posted there. Back to this project, I've got 2-inch screws in the floor joists here. The floor joists underneath are all 2x6. I think you can probably see that here. That's a 2x6 along the bottom there. And these are boards that I'm walking on here are actually the bottom sides of the 1x6s that made up our deck. So I was thinking about putting the really thick exterior deck paint on the boards, on the top of these boards. They were pretty bad. I mean, you can see how old they are on the bottom, but they're actually really solid and really smooth on the bottom. So all I did was flip them over so I could reuse all the boards from the deck. And as you can see all the way down, you know, I've got all the deck boards that I needed to finish this 10x10 Playhouse. The deck, I believe, is 12x14, so I had enough deck board. I didn't have to go and buy any for the Playhouse. I don't call it a tree house because, as you can see, it's not attached to any trees. It's kind of up in the trees, and this is always one of my favorite views, to sit out here when it's really shady and just kind of look up through the trees. And we do a lot of bird watching, so we chronicle the birds and get a little bit closer now, being up in the air here. But anyway, the deck, I ended up just replacing all the boards because I knew I was going to reuse those on the Playhouse. And so I've got a two-tone on the deck. I've got 2x6 handrails across the top all the way around. All the screws on the top of the handrail are screwed in from underneath, so there's no screws on the top of the handrail. The pickets are all original from whenever the deck was built. I've been in this house for 13 years now. And all the deck boards I did white, because when you do a really dark color on the deck boards, it's really hot to walk around on in the summer. And I like to walk around the deck barefoot, so it's all white. When I did the deck boards, I also cut all the boards to length before I screwed them down, and I went ahead and primed the top, bottom, both sides and both ends, and then went ahead with my solid deck stain. I got that from Lowe's. I don't remember the brand, but it's a solid deck stain in the white. And I coated each of those boards on the floor, all the deck boards on the floor. Those are all 1x6, and I coated those twice all the way around in the solid stain, and once I actually screwed the boards in, I did another coat on the top. So those deck boards have, on the top, have 4 coats. The primer first, and then 3 coats of the solid stain. So I'm hoping those boards will last a long time. When I had the joists, or when I had the floor deck boards up as well, I put down the tar strips. You can buy 2-inch or 4-inch wide tar strips. I bought the 4-inch wide and just cut it down the middle, and saved probably $20-$30 not buying the 2-inch roll, because I would have to buy 2 of the 2-inch rolls, so I just bought 1 of the 4-inch wide rolls. So all those deck boards, so when you look through the deck here, you can see where that floor joist goes across there, and on the deck on the back of the house, on the tops, is actually that tar. It's a single-sided adhesive tar strip. So when the rain is falling down on the deck and it goes past these boards, as the rain goes through past the boards and the water sits on top of that joist, it doesn't rot your joists out. So hopefully that deck's going to last a long time. And yeah, that's pretty much the deck project with the Playhouse here. Eventually I think the kids are going to want, I've got a 15-year-old, 9-year-old, and a 6-year-old, and eventually we'll probably build a little building maybe inside here, maybe a 6x6, just something to put some corner post up and put a little roof on just for fun. Haven't decided on that yet. I got to get the handrails done first, and I got to get the stairs up. But I've got all the material for the stairs. I've got all the 1x6s for the actual steps. I've got the 2x12s. I've got the 4x4. You got to buy the pre-treated. Do not buy just standard 2x4 lumber. I get all my lumber at Lowe's. I'll go through a whole stack. I probably wouldn't even be able to get these 2x4 bottom. This is the bottom of the handrail. I probably wouldn't even been able to get all 4 of these from Home Depot. I usually end up going through a whole stack of lumber and still can't get what I need. But I've always done well at Lowe's. If you've done well at Home Depot, that's great. There's a couple lumber places around our area, but they're further north. I'm southeast from Raleigh, North Carolina. And so, yeah, the idea is to finish off the handrails. I'm actually just going to go all the way across the top. So you can see this is actually where the stairs are eventually going to come through. So what I'll do is I'll put out my 2 4x4 posts. I'll put a little concrete landing at the bottom. I'll bring up my 2x12 to that 4x4 and then finish the another 2x12 from the 4x4 up to here to the top. And then whatever width I decide on for my stairs, I'm just going to come right in wherever it lands. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to come right in and I'm just going to cut this out. So I'll cut the 2x6 and cut the 2x4 out. So there'll just be a space between the two. Yeah, I think that's it for the Playhouse. So I'm gonna post this real quick and then maybe do some of the cutting. I don't have any camera equipment yet. I'm planning on just getting something better than just using my phone. All this is shot with a Galaxy Note 10 Plus. Like I said, new to YouTube as far as making videos. I've put together playlists of some of the artists that I like, but I usually just go to YouTube for my own entertainment, but just been kind of pushing myself to get started here. So if you can show your support, share the page. If you have any comments or suggestions about how to progress a little quicker in through YouTube, I'm hoping that eventually I'll be able to get to the point where it'll be a little bit more sustaining using YouTube as an outlet. But yeah, we've got a lot to do, so I'm gonna sign off for now. Peace.